Hello everybody, and today I will be reviewing Morbius. But first, let me read you the plot. Biochemist Michael Morbius tries to cure himself from a rare blood disease, but he infects himself with a form of vampirism instead. Now the first thing I'd like to mention is that this movie is very similar to the Venom movies. It's like a thriller, like the Venom movies. It's a bunch of sciencey nonsense, like the symbiotes. And it's loud in the theaters, very loud. The only difference I could find is that there's no comedy at all. And it doesn't have a cool anti-hero like Venom, of course. And speaking of thriller, this movie jump scared me, I'll admit it. Friggin' one scene in the movie just jumped. And the bats in this movie were very loud, too. Very loud. Every single time they were on screen, it was like This movie did have a post-credit scene. No spoilers in this video, but it was very, very odd. And after watching other reviews on the movie, I figured out that the post-credit scene does not make sense at all. But oh well, who really cares? Only the Marvel fans really care. I am a Marvel fan, but I'm not, obsessed with the lore or anything. This movie was very confusing at times. At the very start, I had no idea what was going on. It was pretty confusing. Backstories and the friggin' very start, where it's Morbius has no emotions when the characters die. He kind of just looks at them Well, I mean, I guess he does get mad, but, he has a straight face when they die. They also kind of changed the focus midway through the movie of, instead of trying to figure out the cure to his vampire disease thing, they change it to trying to defeat his best friend, Milo. I think that's his name, Milo. Now, the acting in this movie was not a problem. They all act pretty well. At least this isn't as bad as other movies I've watched. Now, all the characters in the movie were average at best. I like Morbius, but, everyone else were kind of, mediocre. I didn't really care for anyone else. How are Morbius and Milo best friends? They legit worked together for, 2 days in that freaking backstory. And they're, best friends. Unless they did a random time skip they didn't mention, of course. Which they probably did, who knows. I don't understand why people hate this movie so much. No, it isn't a masterpiece, but it isn't that bad either. The story was kind of all over the place, but it mostly sticks with the vampire stuff, so it was okay. Also, there's these two detectives that really do nothing in the movie, other than, interrogating Morbius once. But they still show up a few more times to do, nothing at all. I'll give this movie a 6 out of 10. If you aren't into sci-fi thrillers, you may not like this movie. And if you didn't like the Venom movies, you won't like this movie. Now, do I recommend this movie? Well, I don't know. But I do know one thing. Don't judge a movie till you've seen it. Because I assume this movie would be way worse, but if I'm being honest, it wasn't that bad. But would I watch it again? No. I would not. It's basically just the boring part of Venom, but an entire movie based off that, if I'm being honest. But anyway, that's the end of my video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully I convinced you to watch Morbius. Hopefully you liked. Hopefully you subscribed. And man, I can't believe Mobius from Loki got a movie.